Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Well, after some much needed morning rain, sun's peeking out, solar's doing good, got a beautiful day. Everything looking good. Little gray, but a lot of light coming in yet. So it's been quite a while ago since we reviewed this Chin's 12.8 volt, 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery. This one was their smart version. It's got a smart BMS Bluetooth capable app, so you can monitor your state of charge and a couple of other functions on your battery. This one also has low temperature heating protection, but it was the smart aspect of the app that was pretty intriguing in the very beginning. And I'm going to just show you a simple way where you can basically do the exact same thing with even more functions and save yourself some money. So we all know the Chins are a good battery. Lots of you are using them. I use several of them, have had great results from them. They continue to work fine. But in this video, I really wanted to point out how necessary or not would it be to get a smart battery. So there was a lot of confusion on which app to use for this particular battery back when we first started it, and a lot of you that I know purchased this battery and you had trouble finding the app, and all I could tell you was on the app itself it had this little yellow icon, and that's the one I found that worked. And as you can see, it is now on and showing the state of charge at 80%. And if we swipe over, it can show you that it's got 13.83 volts, currently basically 4 amps coming into it. And it also shows you the temperature in Celsius and Fahrenheit. And then the last thing that this app shows you is the state of charge of all 4 cells in this battery. And you can see they're all running basically the same, 3.45, pretty much straight across. A little bit of fluctuation as it's charging, and that's all this app had to show you what's going on. So you got some cell information, the voltage, the current coming in, and the overall state of health. So there was just a ton of confusion from a lot of you that wanted to know what app I was using. And because the app itself was in Chinese, I couldn't tell you what the name of it was. I just identified it with that little yellow icon. And that was long before I started using this, the Smart Solar Charge Controller from Victron. And I'm going to show you the difference of what this app looks like and the information that it shows compared to this one. So in a side-by-side comparison of the apps, we can see what the difference is. And I'll just say that smart battery runs about $100 more than a non-smart battery, which is basically the price of that Victron charge controller. So right here, we'll look at the 14.18 volts is what this app is reading. And then on the Victron, 14.19. So basically identical, but this one has a lot more information. Tells you that it just went over into absorption mode because it went up to 14.2, which is what the parameters are set on that Victron charge controller. It just gives you a lot more information. The state of charge, absorption, current 3.6, amps coming in, voltage right at 14.2, which it'll hold that now for a couple of hours as we finish off the charge. Then if we come over to here and swipe 14.18, 3.5, they're both reading the same, 3.5. And then that's about it for this app, except it does show you those cell voltages on that top string there. So that's all that this one shows. It's nice to have, but then let's just go to the Victron history. And this will give you, you know, the history for an entire month. Now, some of these other bar graphs down here, I've been running various batteries out here and charging them, but right here it shows you the past 2 days that I've had that battery hooked up. And this one shows you, you know, on day one, 310 watt hours were put into it. Today, so far, 170 watt hours before it went into absorption. So, yeah, for the difference in price of buying a smart battery, if you get a Victron charge controller, you make your non-smart battery very smart. And that's why I really like the Victron charge controllers, because right here you have everything you could possibly want to know. You got 41 watts, excuse me, coming in off the solar panels. The voltage of the array, which is just a 200 watt array currently, shows you 40 volts coming in. The current, 1.1 amps. Voltage, like I said, it's just going to hold it there at 14.2 for a while it finishes off this absorption phase, and it's only allowing 2.9 amps to come in there and do that. So, and then of course you can look down and see all of your daily values through here. So yeah, there was a lot of confusion which app. I know a lot of you were running this battery and you asked me, and like I said, all I could tell you was what the icon looked like in the Play stores to download. And it does give you some good information, but at the price of $100 more for a so-called smart battery, like I said, that $100 will buy you a Victron charge controller of this size, maybe just a little bit more, but not much. And then you have a lot more information. So, you know, you'll do just fine. You can buy a cheaper lithium iron phosphate battery of this size now for about $350 is pretty much about the average. Throw in a nice smart charge controller and you've made your battery a smart battery. So this is the only battery that I have that is actually a smart battery that has that Bluetooth app built into this. And it does give you some good information, but like I said, all my other batteries are now hooked up to one Victron charge controller or another, various sizes that I use, as some of you will know. And that right there turns a non-smart battery into a very smart battery. The other thing I'll say is the Bluetooth range on this battery to that little app I was showing you, you've got to be standing almost on top of it to make it work. Where this one has a much further range. You can be sitting out 30 feet away from that in most circumstances and get a very good reading on your app and see exactly what's going on with whatever battery you have it hooked up to. So that little device there, I think the last I looked, it was about $118, which is almost about the extra amount they charge you from a non-smart battery to a smart version. So the cost of that, you can just get your basic 100 amp hour lithium iron phosphate battery, hook up a Victron charge controller, and you've made your battery a smart battery. So yeah, I like that. I like this much better to have one of these as opposed to having a built-in Bluetooth app that you're paying a lot of extra money for. So thought some of you might be interested in that. So just trying to save you guys a few bucks. For those of you that are looking for the best bargain out there, Yeah, for my money, I would just get a regular lithium battery, whatever you decide to go with, but make sure and hook it up to a Victron. It makes the world of difference. All right, everybody, have a good day. Come on, son. Aloha.